Hey everyone, ready to dive into the world of local SEO today?
Always exciting.
We're taking a close look at this blog post from Now Technology Systems.
From Australia, right.
Yep, an Australian company. They're all about ranking factors, and this post is really recent.
Just came out last month, October 29th.
So fresh. By the end of this deep dive,
You'll be a local SEO pro.
well, maybe not a pro, but definitely equipped to make sure your business is the one popping up in those local searches.
Like when someone searches for something nearby, you're the one they see.
It's like having that giant neon sign, but only visible to your town.
Exactly. And it's super crucial for businesses, you know?
With a physical location.
Like a shop or a restaurant.
Yeah.
They really need to ace local SEO.
Makes total sense.
Think about it. When was the last time you searched for something like best coffee near me?
Oh, all the time. Especially when I'm traveling.
That's what I'm talking about.
In fact, just last week, New City totally relied on those search results to find a decent cafe. That's local SEO working its magic, guiding those customers right to your door.
So it's laser focused.
Exactly. While general SEO casts a wider net, local SEO is all about that specific geographic area. You know?
Where the customers actually are.
You got it.
Okay, so starting point. I see the blog post mentions Google My Business.
That's where it all begins.
First stop on our local SEO journey.
Consider your Google My Business profile your digital storefront.
Like the first impression.
It's what potential customers see first, so make it count.
So more than just claiming the profile.
Way more. It's about high-quality photos.
Okay, got it.
A really good description, you know?
One that really captures the essence of the business.
Exactly. Show off what makes you stand out.
Okay, setting the stage, right? Creating the vibe.
You got it. And those business hours.
Oh yeah, so
A
important.
lot of businesses forget to update them, especially during the holidays.
Or special event.
And then, inaccurate hours.
Frustrated customers.
Yeah,
Missed opportunities.
exactly. So how do we make sure
That we're speaking the right language, so to speak.
you're thinking about location keywords?
Attracting the right customer.
That's it. It's about using the terms your ideal customer uses.
Instead of just saying bakery.
Right. Think artisan bakery in your town or gluten-free bakery near me.
Okay, I get it. Step into the customer's shoes.
See how they'd actually search.
Love that. Okay, location keywords, checked. But how do we connect those searches to my website?
That's where citations enter the picture.
Citations.
They're basically online mentions of your business.
Like in directories, you mean?
Directories, social media, even news websites.
Gotcha.
And each citation includes your NAP.
NAP, what's that stand for?
Name, address, and phone number. Super important.
So why is this NAP consistency so crucial?
Well, imagine searching for a restaurant,
Okay, yeah.
finding two different addresses.
And you don't know which is right.
Frustrating, right?
Absolutely. And it kind of makes you question the business.
Exactly. Inconsistent NAP.
Confuses customers.
It also sends those mixed signals to search engines.
And that could hurt our ranking.
You got it.
Yeah.
Like a house built on a shaky foundation.
So we need to triple check our name, address, phone number.
Across every platform.
That's a lot to manage.
It is, but there are tools to help, and it's worth it.
For building trust with search engines.
And potential customers.
Okay, I'm convinced. Consistency it is. So we've got our Google My Business looking good, using those location keywords, and our NFPE is consistent. What's next in our local SEO toolkit?
Let's talk about the digital word of mouth. Online reviews.
Oh yeah, those reviews are everything nowadays.
They really influence potential customers.
I mean, even how search engines see your business.
Exactly. It's a two-way street.
So it's not just about getting those 5-star reviews.
It's about managing them, too.
Like engaging with them.
Exactly. Consider it a conversation with your customers.
So responding to reviews, both good and bad.
It's all part of it.
Interesting, because I always thought that negative reviews were, well, negative.
Not necessarily. Responding thoughtfully, especially to the negative ones.
Can actually be a positive thing.
Absolutely. It shows you care.
And that you're responsive.
And that you're committed to providing a good experience.
Even when things go wrong.
You got it.
I never thought about it that way. There's this great bakery I go to. They have amazing reviews. But once I saw this negative review, a cake order that went wrong.
Oh, no.
But the owner's response, so graceful. They apologized, offered a refund, even gave the customer a gift certificate.
Wow, that's impressive.
And it honestly made me want to support them even more.
They turned a potentially bad situation
Into a positive interaction.
exactly like turning lemons into lemonade, digitally speaking.
Okay, so we've covered GMB, keywords, citations, reviews.
We're on a roll.
Is there anything else before we move on?
Don't underestimate the power of content.
Content is king, right?
But not just any content. Content that really connects with your community.
Local content.
Think blog posts about local events, special offers for people in specific neighborhoods.
Showcasing local involvement.
You got it. It's about showing that you're part of the community.
Not just some faceless business.
It helps you connect with potential customers on a deeper level, and it provides valuable content for search engines to find.
Okay, I like that. So a bookstore could host a local author reading, or a coffee shop could partner with a local artist to showcase their work.
Now you're thinking.
It's about those authentic connections.
See what creative ideas you can come up with.
Oh, I've got so many ideas already. I could write a blog post about upcoming local events, or maybe offer a discount for customers who mention a recent community initiative.
Okay, so much potential. But before I go too far down that rabbit hole, what about the technical stuff?
The behind-the-scenes magic.
Technical SEO. That always sounds a bit intimidating.
It can seem complicated, but it's really about making sure your website runs smoothly and provides a good user experience.
The foundation, right?
Think site speed, mobile friendliness, and secure connections. Nobody wants a slow website.
It's like waiting in a long line when you're in a hurry.
Ugh, the worst.
And more people are using their phones, so a mobile-friendly website,
It's essential.
if it's clunky and difficult to navigate on a phone,
You'll lose potential customers.
you got it. So site speed, mobile-friendly, secure.
Got it. And you mentioned backlinks earlier,
Backlinks are those digital votes of confidence.
like referrals.
They're links from other websites to yours.
And the more you have,
The more trustworthy your site seems to search engines.
okay, that makes sense. But how do I get these backlinks? Just email every website out there.
Not quite. It's about building real relationships and providing value.
So like networking with local businesses and community organizations.
That's the idea.
I see. So a local gym could link to a nearby health food store and vice versa.
Exactly. Everyone benefits.
I'm starting to see the bigger picture here.
All the pieces fitting together.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, and remember how we mentioned the blog post is from an Australian company?
Oh, yes. Does that mean local SEO is different in Australia?
Great question. While the fundamentals are universal, there might be some local nuances.
So someone searching for a plumber in Sydney might use different keywords than someone in London.
Exactly. You have to tailor your approach to the specific market.
Okay, so much to consider. This is way more nuanced than I initially thought.
It is a lot, but remember...
So take it step by step.
Exactly. Local SEO is an ongoing process, not a quick fix. We're just laying the foundation here.
Okay, that makes me feel better. So before we move on to part 2 of our deep dive, let's quickly recap what we've covered so far.
Love a good recap.
To become a local search star, we focus on, number 1, our Google My Business profile.
Treat it like your digital storefront.
Accurate info, great photos, showcasing those customer reviews.
Make it shine.
Number 2, speaking the customer's language.
Those location keywords.
Putting myself in their shoes.
What are they searching for?
Number 3, making sure our NAP information is consistent across the board.
Name, address, phone number. Building that solid foundation.
Consistency is key.
Number 4, managing those online reviews like a pro.
Respond to everything, good and bad.
Showing potential customers we care.
And striving to create a good experience.
And number 5, creating content that really resonates with our local community.
Partnerships, events, special offers. Show you're invested.
Plus, we can't forget about the technical side of things.
Site speed, mobile friendliness, secure connections.
And backlinks.
It's about making it easy and enjoyable for everyone who visits your site.
So much good stuff. But I won't lie, it feels a little overwhelming.
It is a lot to take in, but remember,
But don't have to do it all at once.
start small, focus on one area at a time.
Celebrate those wins.
Exactly.
Okay, so where should our listeners begin? What's that one thing they can do today to get started?
Here's a question to think about. Imagine your ideal local customer.
Okay, I like this.
What are they searching for?
What are their needs?
And how can you make it ridiculously easy for them to find you?
Wow, that's powerful. It really puts things in perspective.
Exactly. Once you have that answer,
You can start tailoring your local SEO strategy.
to meet their needs.
Like a treasure hunt.
But the treasure is your customer.
I'm feeling inspired.
That's the spirit.
Ready to tackle part 2 of this deep dive.
Let's do it. Ready when you are.
All right, so we've laid the groundwork, understanding our ideal customer, and starting to build that online presence.
Building that foundation.
But the blog post mentioned schema markup. I have to admit, that sounds a bit like a secret code.
It might sound technical, but it's actually pretty straightforward.
So break it down for me.
Think of schema markup as a way to speak Google's language.
Okay, I like that.
It's like adding these little labels to your website's content.
Labels?
Yeah, labels that help Google understand exactly what it's looking at.
So we're not just hoping Google figures it out on its own.
Right, you're giving them a clear roadmap.
Makes sense.
For example, you can use schema markup to specify things like your business hours, address, phone number.
Even customer reviews.
All those crucial details for local search.
So it's like giving Google a VIP backstage pass to all the important stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're making it easier for Google to crawl your website, understand your content, and ultimately rank you higher in those local search results.
Okay. I'm starting to see the value here.
It can really make a difference.
But is adding schema markup something I can do myself? Or do I need to call in a web developer? I'm not exactly a coding expert.
No worries. There are options for everyone.
That's good to hear.
If you're comfortable with code, you can add it manually.
To my website's HTML.
Yep. But if you're like most people,
I'm not a coding whiz.
there are these user-friendly tools and plugins
Plugins, that's
that can
right.
do the hard work for you.
No coding needed.
Exactly. So no matter your tech skills, you can still implement schema markup and give your local SEO a boost.
Got it. Adding that to my to-do list.
Excellent.
Now, I know we've been Google-focused, but what about those other search engines like Bing or Apple Maps? Do they even matter for local SEO?
Great question. While Google might be the big player, it's definitely not the only one out there.
So I shouldn't ignore them.
Think about it. What if your ideal customer prefers using Bing or relies heavily on Apple Maps for directions?
Ah, I see your point. It's like diversifying my investments.
Exactly. Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Spread the risk.
By optimizing for other search engines and directories, you're casting a wider net and increasing your chances of being found,
By those potential customers.
no matter which search engine they prefer.
Makes sense. Okay, so we've covered a ton of practical tips, but what about the flip side? What are some of those common mistakes businesses make when it comes to local SEO? What should we be avoiding?
Oh, there are a few classic pitfalls. One of the biggest is neglecting their Google My Business profile.
Right. Their digital storefront.
You want to keep it sparkling clean and inviting?
Or forgetting to update business hours during holidays.
Oh, I've been there. So frustrating.
It happens to the best of us.
Speaking of frustrating, another common mistake is inconsistent NAP information.
Right, we talked about that name, address, phone number.
It's worth repeating because it can really hurt your search rankings.
Sending those mixed signals.
Exactly. But it's an easy fix.
Just make sure it's the same everywhere.
Across all platforms.
Consistency is key.
And finally, many businesses just don't quite grasp the power of online reviews.
Okay, how so?
They either don't encourage customers to leave reviews or they don't respond to them,
Especially the negative ones.
which is a mistake. Responding to reviews, even the negative ones.
It shows you're engaged.
Exactly. It's like having a conversation.
Building those relationships.
A simple thank you for a positive review goes a long way.
And for those negative ones.
Address them with empathy and a willingness to resolve the issue.
Turn that frown upside down.
You can actually turn a detractor into a loyal customer. It's all about showing potential customers that you're responsive and committed to providing a great experience.
Okay, I'm on board with the power of reviews. Now, let's say our listener has implemented all these amazing local SEO strategies. How long does it take to see results?
That's the question everyone wants answered. But unfortunately, there's no magic formula or instant gratification when it comes to SEO.
So it's a waiting game.
It's a long game, a marathon, not a sprint.
Patience is a virtue.
Exactly. It can take weeks, months, or even longer to see significant changes.
Okay, so don't get discouraged if I don't see results right away.
Exactly. Consistency is key. Keep creating great content, optimizing your website, building those backlinks, and engaging with your community. You'll start to see those results over time.
It's like planting a seed and watching it grow.
I love that analogy.
You need to nurture it, give it time, and trust the process.
And just like a plant needs sunlight and water to thrive, your local SEO strategy needs constant attention and care.
So how can our listeners stay on top of their local SEO game? Are there any tools or resources you recommend, to help them track their progress and identify areas for improvement?
Absolutely. There are some fantastic tools out there.
Like what?
Moz Local, Bright Local, SingRush.
Okay, those sound promising.
They can help you track your rankings, monitor your online reputation, and even identify local citation opportunities.
Wow, that's pretty comprehensive. Especially for someone like me who might not have a dedicated SEO team.
Exactly. And don't forget about the free tools Google offers.
Oh yeah, like what?
Google Search Console and Google Analytics. They're gold mines of information about your website's performance.
Tell me more.
They can show you how people are finding you online, what keywords they're using, and how they're engaging with your content.
So much valuable data.
It's all about understanding those insights and making informed decisions.
Okay, I'm definitely adding those to my list of things to check out. So any other insights you've noticed while working with businesses on their local SEO? What are those key things that separate the businesses that really thrive from those who just kind of survive?
One thing that really stands out is their willingness to adapt and evolve.
Roll with the punches.
They understand that local SEO isn't a one-time fix. It's an ongoing process.
Always evolving.
Requires constant attention and refinement.
So it's not about setting it and forgetting it.
Not at all. The digital landscape is constantly changing, and consumer behavior is changing right along with it.
So you have to stay ahead of the curve.
The businesses that thrive are the ones that embrace change, stay updated, and continuously adapt their strategy.
Flexibility is key.
Absolutely. And don't forget about the human element. Local SEO is about connecting with real people in your community.
Building those relationships.
Exactly. Engaging with your audience on social media, participating in local events, those things can make a big difference.
So it's not just about algorithms and keywords.
It's about genuine human connection.
It's about being a valuable part of the community, both online and offline.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
This has been such an eye-opening journey. I feel like I'm finally starting to crack the code of local SEO. But before we wrap up part 2, any final words of wisdom?
Remember, local SEO is all about those meaningful relationships that turn into loyal customers and long-term success.
It's not about tricking the system. It's about genuinely providing value.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Be authentic, be engaging, and focus on building those connections.
I love that.
And as always, keep exploring and experimenting to find what works best for you.
That's great advice. This has been fantastic. I'm ready for part 3. Let's do it. I feel like we've already covered so much ground, but I'm sure there's still more to uncover.
You bet. Local SEO is always changing, and the more we dig in,
the more interesting it gets, right?
Exactly.
I'm particularly curious about something you mentioned earlier, that whole idea of local SEO being a marathon, not a sprint.
Ah, yes.
It's a long game.
Makes total sense, but it also makes me wonder, how do I actually measure progress? What should I be watching out for along the way?
That's a great question, and honestly, it's something a lot of business owners struggle with.
Because it's not always clear-cut.
Rankings are important, for sure.
I mean, we want to be at the top.
But that's not the only. So what else should we be looking at?
Think about the big picture. What's the end goal of all these local SEO efforts?
To bring in more customers.
Exactly. So, yes, track your ranking for those keywords, but also keep an eye on
Like website traffic?
website traffic, phone calls, online bookings.
Even foot traffic to the store.
You want to see those real-world results.
Okay, so it's not just about obsessing over that search results page.
It's about the bigger picture.
But how do I connect the dots between my SEO efforts and those actual outcomes? It feels like there are a million moving pieces.
That's where tracking and analytics come in. Remember those tools we talked about?
Google Analytics.
Exactly. They help you understand how people are finding your website.
So I can see if someone found my website through Google.
See what they do once they're on the site.
And then if they, say, called to book an appointment.
Exactly. You can start to see those patterns.
The customer journey from online to offline.
And that's super valuable information.
It's like having a behind-the-scenes look at what my customers are doing.
It's all about those insights.
I'm definitely going to spend some time exploring those analytics tools. But from your experience, are there any common threads you've noticed? Like, what separates the businesses that really kill it with local SEO from those that just, get by?
One thing that really stands out is the willingness to adapt.
So, not being afraid to change things up.
They get that local SEO is constantly changing, and you have to evolve with it.
So those who thrive are the ones who embrace the changes.
Keep learning and refining their strategy.
Because what worked yesterday might not work today, right?
Exactly. And don't forget the human element.
Right. We're not just dealing with robots.
It's about those real-life connections.
Building relationships with other businesses, engaging with our audience on social media.
Showing up at local events.
So it's about being part of the community, both online and offline.
Exactly. It all comes full circle.
This has been an incredible journey. I feel so much more equipped to tackle local SEO now.
I'm glad to hear that.
But before we wrap up, any final words of wisdom for our listeners? What's the one thing they should remember?
If I could leave you with just one thought, it's this. Local SEO is more than just tactics or a checklist.
It's a way of thinking.
It's about understanding your business and its place in the community. Focus on providing real value, build genuine relationships, and stay adaptable, and you'll see amazing results.
That's fantastic advice. I'm feeling so inspired.
That's what we like to hear.
Thank you so much for sharing your expertise with us.
It was my pleasure. Always happy to talk local SEO.
And to all our listeners, we hope you found this deep dive helpful.
Remember, keep exploring and experimenting.
The world of local SEO is waiting. Until next time, happy optimizing.